pragtig.
I was getting ready to pop the question, and then something big happened. I found out she was cheating on me. She said she was really sorry and that it was a mistake, that she loves me and that...
In the dazzling world of showbiz, we are constantly served fairy tale couples with dream romances, weddings of the century, and perfect marriages. But behind the stage lights, few people know that even the most admired pairs, those with endless money, power, and fame, are not immune to loneliness, conflict, and sometimes infidelity. The halo of fame and fortune often only highlights the emotional voids, the places where trust and individual identity easily crumble, drawing them into a relentless vortex of temptation. We once revered the golden couples of the music industry: Barry White and his muse, Glodean James, Lionel Richie and his beautiful wife, Diane Alexander, Marvin Gaye and his sharp-witted partner, Anna Gordy. They were the perfect love stories that the press exhaustively praised and held up as gospel. But does a truly happy, flawless marriage even exist in this world? Those radiant smiles on the red carpet, those glittering moments side by side in front of the public, can they truly conceal the brutal truth? That loyalty is not always steadfast, even in dream marriages? Join us as we tear back that perfect curtain and uncover the shocking, little-known truths about 15 black R&B singers whose wives were the worst cheaters. Get ready for the hidden stories that will make your jaw drop. 15. Ray Charles, the blues heart shattered by hidden letters. Ray Charles, the soul music legend admired by the public, not only for his emotional voice, but also for the beautiful and romantic love story with his wife, Della Beatrice Howard Robinson, the woman he once described as the gentlest sunshine that lit up his life. The golden couple married in 1955. The public often saw Ray by his wife's side, openly sharing affectionate gestures for the cameras. By the 70s, as Ray was at the peak of his career, constantly busy with long nightly tours, rumors about women surrounding him began to surface, and Ray was also known to be drawn into the spiral of addiction. Finally, they announced their separation on April 26, 1977. A question arose in the public mind. Was there another secret hidden behind the failure of this marriage? The void created an opportunity for the emergence of a third person, Klaus, a colleague in the church choir with Della. From seemingly harmless conversations, a silent bond began to form. Della wrote letters to Klaus that she never sent to Ray, words confessing her loneliness and exhaustion in the marriage, which Ray discovered inside an old piano. I feel lost and terribly weary in this world. At church, I sing about hope, but when I return to an empty house, only I am left facing the shadow of solitude. After Ray's death, an old letterbox and pages of notes in the form of a memoir were discovered by family members in his bedroom, which included small letters he had secretly retrieved from her diary. Months after the passing of the late singer, the public occasionally caught sight of Della beside Klaus, sharing intimate hugs and arm-in-arm gestures that exceeded the boundary of close friends or colleagues. Their private meetings after choir practice when everyone else had left, or encounters at a small coffee shop near the church, were confirmed by several musicians who worked in the church band. These damning pieces of evidence, though lacking a public statement from those involved, implicitly confirmed the culprit behind the collapse of their faith in love. In a private interview with the media, when asked about the end of the relationship with the woman he deeply loved, Ray confided, "I made millions of hearts beat, but I let the most important woman in my life be tormented by loneliness and the absence of love. That remorse will be etched into my heart as a reminder until I leave this life." Though Ray and Della went their separate ways, the loving moments they once shared still shine brightly like immortal notes in the soul, proving that true love, even when lost, is always worthy of remembrance. 14. Barry White. When the muse becomes the heart's fracture. Barry White, the R&B soul music icon, famous for his deep, masculine, and captivating voice. Fans were not only captivated by his romantic and emotional talent, but also by the beautiful and intense love between him and Glodean James, the soulful ballad singer of Love Unlimited, whom Barry called his muse and one of his strongest inspirations in music. They married in 1974. Throughout the 1970s, the public often saw Glodean accompanying Barry, always supporting him. However, from 1975 to the early 1980s, as Barry White became a golden legend of soul R&B, he was constantly busy with the studio and extensive tours, often absent from home and rarely closely monitoring his wife's schedule. Glodean James was not only his wife, but also his collaborator. Yet the person closest to her in her daily work was Daniel, a close personal assistant who was involved in nearly every aspect of Glodean's singing career, from scheduling to backstage support and escorting her to events. In 1988, the couple suddenly announced their separation. Following the breakup, Barry descended into a spiral of addiction and illness. A memoir discovered in the late singer's private room after his death revealed the answer to this devastating split. In one memoir entry, believed to have been written at the time of the marital breakdown, a short but heavy line was found on the page. "Today, I discovered my wife was cheating." The initial evidence of inappropriate intimacy was found by another assistant on the team. While checking daily work schedules and correspondence, this person accidentally accessed a shared email inbox related to Daniel. Amidst numerous emails about contracts, timings, and work plans, a string of messages with an unusually affectionate tone was revealed. "Every time I see you smile after rehearsals, I feel all my tiredness disappear. I just wish those moments could last a little longer in a place where no one could recognize us." These emails were sent to an email address with the account name Deanie, Glodean's affectionate nickname, used only by family and close friends. In his unpublished memoir, Confessions of a Heart, Barry wrote, "When I saw those words, my heart felt utterly constricted. Deanie, I once considered you the light, the breath, the faith of my life, and yet you gave affection, conversation, and those intimate words to someone else. But please remember, my love for you will never fade. It still burns silently within my heart. I am grateful for the months we walked beside each other, and perhaps until my last breath, I will carry that love as an inseparable part of this life of Barry White." It was the tender confession of a man who, late in life, fully understood the value of love. And somewhere in Barry's immortal love song legacy, Glodean James's image, Deanie, is still felt as an inseparable part of that man's heart. 13. Teddy Pendergrass. When the golden couple fractured from secret backstage rendezvous. Teddy Pendergrass and Joan Williams, the famous golden couple known for one of the most romantic and well-matched relationships in show business. He was an R&B legend with a masculine, captivating, and emotional voice. She was a sharp executive at the sportswear company New Balance, always appearing by his side as the perfect counterpart. They were an icon of love in the public eye. Yet cracks always appear in the silent spaces behind seemingly perfect stories. From the late 70s into the early 80s, as Teddy plunged into a dense schedule of tours, Joan was busy with marketing campaigns. Their schedules became increasingly mismatched. Shared evenings were gradually replaced by emails, meetings, and continuous flights. By the mid-80s, the press stopped only reporting on their red carpet appearances and began whispering about times Teddy attended events alone and photo shoots where Joan appeared with Henri, the fashion photographer accompanying the campaigns, with unusual frequency and intimacy. Concurrently, Teddy occasionally shared vague, emotional lines in print and TV interviews, saying he always felt lonely even at the peak and wished, after long nights, to return home, where a warm light is waiting for me, though that feels like a luxury. On January 13, 2010, the legendary singer passed away. A question suddenly arose, becoming a topic of fervent discussion. Did a secret lurk behind the marriage that the press had so often celebrated? The suspicions began with seemingly ordinary details. Joan appeared more frequently with Henri, sharing affectionate glances, close proximity, and gestures that went far beyond a purely professional relationship. Backstage photos and moments recorded during work schedules and business trips indicated a special attention toward each other. Another sign that stirred public attention was a short-lived post Teddy made on Twitter, revealing his suspicion toward his partner. "Your eyes, your smile, are they still for me? Or is it all just a familiar act?" The post was quickly deleted after only 12 hours. The hypothesis became clearer through notable details gathered by the tabloids. Private working sessions and unusually long, hour-long exchanges between Joan and Henri. These behaviors, combined with Joan's frequent absence from home, led fans to question the true nature of their relationship. In a rare interview, when asked directly about his wife's suspected infidelity, Teddy remained silent and avoided answering. It is precisely these untold silences that keep the image of the golden couple, Teddy Pendergrass and Joan Williams, perpetually intriguing, making their story one of the legendary romances that the public has yet to fully decipher. 12. James Brown, The Fall of Dignity for the Godfather of Soul. Before an unspoken marital secret. James Brown, the Godfather of Soul, a music legend, the pioneer of funk, whose private life was fraught with scandal. In his final phase of life, James appeared alongside Tommy Ray Heine, a backing vocalist who was both his onstage companion, his partner, and the mother of his youngest son. In the public eye, they looked like a golden couple. James, strong and fervent. Tommy Ray, elegant and captivating, presenting an image of a beautiful, passionate, yet powerful love story. Until the secret facade began to crack. They held a wedding ceremony in 2002, and the shocking truth was exposed. Tommy Ray had not finalized her previous divorce from Javed Ahmed, her ex-husband. The marriage between James and Tommy was later deemed legally invalid by the South Carolina Supreme Court. For a man like James, who fought all his life to rebuild his image through music after escaping poverty and crime, discovering that the woman by his side had concealed such a vital piece of her life was not merely a matter of paperwork. The famous singer once revealed, "I can't believe the person I trusted the most would hide such a crazy truth from me. This feeling of betrayal is not just a legal matter. It strikes directly and completely shatters my faith in love." Trust was broken. James was furious. Tommy was even reportedly asked to leave an overseas tour after her marital past with Ahmed was exposed. Within a fleeting 12 hours, James filed for an annulment and requested a front-page announcement in Variety magazine to state that he and Tommy Ray were officially parting ways. The scandal erupted, capturing the public's attention. Amidst the frenzy, several entertainment gossip accounts resurrected old photos, capturing Tommy Ray hastily getting into a dark luxury sedan, quickly vanishing from the lens. Though there was no concrete proof, the hypothesis about an unbroken emotional tie between Tommy and her ex-husband persisted. And perhaps only those involved can provide the complete answer. 11. Rick James, the brilliant funk, glory, and the wife forever, caught between two shores of memory. Rick James, the legendary rebellious funk and R&B artist, remains etched in the public memory with his fiery dreadlocks and his expansive, free-spirited performance style. But behind the spotlight, few knew of a Rick who always longed for a quiet space for his heart to rest. In his memoir, A Little Me, discovered after his death in 2004, Rick dedicated an entire chapter to a woman intimately named Minnie, or Mimi, who is believed to be his first true love, described as his true love and his spiritual anchor during the early years of his career, and the inspiration for his love song, You and I. This enigmatic partner in his memoir is a chapter full of secrets the public was never allowed to touch. Rick wrote nostalgic lines about her accompanying and supporting him backstage at small shows before he became famous. And within those same memoir entries, Rick revealed a truth that shocked the public. His mysterious wife, the sole muse in the Black Star's life, had at least once been involved with a man believed to be her ex-lover, John, during the time Rick was at the height of his fame, starting to indulge in all-night parties and the spiral of addiction. According to the late star's writings, the secret was discovered one May afternoon. While looking for accessories for a performance, he inadvertently opened Mimi's small box and found a stack of slightly worn, ribbon-tied letters from her ex-boyfriend, with intimate content hinting at an unbroken connection. I am afraid of the terrifying loneliness and silence of the darkness. It seems I have forgotten my own laughter a long time ago. Since when have I become a quiet, soulless, emotionless shadow in his life? Though I have tried to restrain my heart, I still cannot forget you, John. The singer's outpouring in his memoir was deeply moving to the public. My dear, I cannot forget that afternoon when I stumbled upon that little box, those affectionate words exchanged between you and him, as if to remind me that your heart once belonged to another, and that it was somehow hard to let go of the past shadow. I realized how cruel I was for failing to give you a complete and happy home. But I only hope you know that my love for you will never change. When you left, leaving me with an unfillable void, I was in pain, but I harbored no resentment. I promised to keep everything most beautiful about you in my memory, in my music, and in this heart. Despite enduring days full of tragedy and pain, Rick James overcame it all to become a funk R&B legend. Mimi, the mysterious wife, who quietly appeared in his life and was tied to deep memories, was always cherished by Rick until his death. Their relationship, with all its ups and downs, love, hurt, and silent pain, is a beautiful yet deeply complicated love story that fans find poignant. 10. Lionel Richie, The Shattered Ballad of Love. Lionel Richie, the sweet voice of pop R&B and soul, famous for romantic ballads like Hello and Endless Love. In the late 90s, the artist's image was often linked with Diane Alexander, his second wife, a beautiful, charming woman with the poise of a noted lounge singer. They were the paradigm of a golden couple, beautiful, perfect, and admirable artistic love. The famous singer once called her his perfect other half. Around 2002, amidst the tranquility of their marriage, cracks began to appear. The public was first alerted to suspicions of Diane's infidelity when leaked paparazzi photos showed her with George Wilson, a close colleague from the 2002 summer tour. Their intimate gestures and affectionate glances led the public to raise questions. Amidst the public buzz, a practice video released by an anonymous entertainment gossip account on Twitter captured Diane and George in intimate interaction, fueling infidelity rumors about the singer's partner. Suspicions grew stronger with leaked photos showing Diane leaving George's house late at night while Lionel was busy preparing for his long U.S. tour. These doubts spread from 2002 to 2003, but Lionel Richie chose to maintain complete public silence. In a rare statement in 2003, he only admitted that his busy schedule, tours, and long rehearsals had inadvertently led him to neglect Diane, contributing to the strain on their marriage. In late 2003, Diane filed for divorce, ending the romantic marriage in early 2004. All the fragmented evidence, the silence, and the rumors were enough for the public to envision a complex, tragic story behind the once-admired couple. This broken love story serves as proof that love, even when perfect on paper and in the public eye, can still face difficult challenges, deeply emphasizing the gap between Lionel Richie's idealized public image and his private life. 9. Smokey Robinson, the lonely heart behind the limelight. To many music lovers, Smokey Robinson is not just the soul of Motown, but the image of a courteous, romantic man who wrote sweet love songs. By his side for a long time was Claudette Rogers Robinson, his wife and collaborator, hailed as one of Motown's golden couples, with a home life seen as a perfect model. Therefore, the news that the couple officially divorced in 1986 after 27 years of marriage was shocking, like a visible crack in a love story that had been painted too beautifully. Flashback to the period between 1964 and 1972, during Smokey's golden era. He was constantly on major stages and non-stop tours. Alongside the fame, rumors about the singer's complex private life began to circulate. He was caught being overly intimate with several young female artists backstage. In contrast to her husband's brilliance, Claudette appeared less frequently in the media. A decline in eye-on-shot appearance, sad eyes, and strained smiles, despite attempts to conceal them with makeup, was what the press described about her at events where her husband was absent. During that time, another figure began to appear frequently beside Claudette, a young musician on the crew named Jordan. Initially, everything seemed like a normal professional relationship, but paparazzi began to tell a different story. They repeatedly captured Claudette and Jordan leaving the house in the evening, talking for a long time by the parked car, exchanging intimate glances that went beyond ordinary social interaction. On one occasion, the lens even captured her gently leaning on her colleague's shoulder as they quickly headed into a back alley toward the parking lot. All these moments gradually became fragments, leading to a lingering question. Was there something beyond the boundaries of two people who were just colleagues? Amidst the public storm, the two people involved chose silence. Perhaps the most haunting aspect is no longer about who betrayed whom, but the tragedy of two individuals who once loved each other deeply, only to be separated by the glare of fame. One sought solace in the decadent temptations behind the stage lights, while the other sought comfort from a different shoulder due to loneliness. 8. Marvin Gaye, the secret behind the perfect marriage. Marvin Gaye, the soulful voice of Motown, the man who poured pain, desire, and love into immortal soul R&B classics. For a long stretch of his journey, he was linked to his wife, Anna Gordy, an intelligent, sharp woman who was also a Motown co-founder. They married in 1963, considered a dream marriage. Yet, underneath that perfect exterior, a rift silently formed, leading to their divorce announcement in 1977. The secrets were only revealed after Marvin's death, in forgotten pages of his memoirs and diaries. Marvin's notes contained enough hints for the reader to sense. He knew Anna was a woman who carried many scars and old shadows, a heart that was not easily his alone. In the later years of their marriage, as Marvin peaked in his career with tours and music projects, Anna appeared less frequently by his side, leading to growing emotional distance. Marvin noted in his memoir that Anna began citing family duties and supporting other Motown projects as reasons for her increasingly frequent and unusual absences. In his private diary, Marvin recorded moments that broke his heart. He witnessed Anna laughing and chatting longer than usual with Marcus, a musician in the band whom he considered a close younger brother. These seemingly minor details, her hurried avoidance of eye contact when he appeared, the sound of music from his wife's study on nights he returned late, haunted him for a long time. The pain and silent hurt he carried were absorbed quietly. When Marvin passed away, the diary pages revealing the secret became a testament to a love that was romantic yet deeply fractured, allowing readers to feel the profound loneliness, regret, and enduring love in the heart of a soul R&B legend. It was this hidden sorrow, fused with his music, that created the unforgettable emotional depth of Marvin Gaye. 7. Stevie Wonder, the low notes in the sweet love song. Stevie Wonder, the soul R&B genius with legendary songs like I Just Called to Say I Love You and Isn't She Lovely? For a long time, beside him was Kai Millard, the woman who was his inspiration and unwavering support. They first met in 1973 in Los Angeles, where Kai worked as his costume designer. Stevie was captivated by her finesse and gentleness, and by her compassionate heart that understood and empathized with a visually impaired artist like him. They quickly became a golden couple in the public eye, Stevie with his musical talent, and Kai quietly serving as his guiding eyes. Yet even the sweetest love songs conceal imperfect, low notes. According to various gossip sources, an anonymous account with no personal information suddenly appeared on an internal entertainment industry forum. The person's short post hinted at an extramarital affair, using initials and describing a context similar to Stevie's crew, a legendary male artist, the star's wife, K, and a music producer, L. The source claimed that during the recording phase, he often saw K and L staying in the studio past the official schedule. Initially, everything was attributed to work, but gradually, unusual intimate details emerged. Touching hands, K instinctively resting her head on L's shoulder, enough for outsiders to feel this was more than just friendship between opposite-sex colleagues. The post quickly circulated. Although the anonymous account abruptly vanished afterward, cross-referencing details about the recording schedule and the name Liam, the producer, led many to the silent conjecture. K was Kai Millard, and L was Liam. At the epicenter of the rumors, Stevie Wonder maintained his calm and reserved demeanor, avoiding direct answers. However, those who worked with him recalled that the artist was quieter during work sessions, with heavy silences hinting at an unutterable sadness. Kai neither appeared to confirm nor deny the rumors, attending events composed and professional. No one dared to confirm betrayal, yet no one was confident enough to dismiss the rumors as baseless. In 2012, the couple officially ended their 11-year marriage. A visually impaired artist who used his heart to feel the world, and a woman who was once his support and inspiration may have lost her way in the voids of love and loneliness. Amidst all the speculation, the only certainty is that behind the spotlight of fame, there is sometimes a fragile heart, once broken by the pain and tragedy of love. 6. Michael Jackson, the silent secret behind the perfect marriage. Michael Jackson, the king of pop, the cultural icon of the late 20th century, whose name is synonymous with the 1980s and 1990s. Legendary hits like Billie Jean or Thriller made him a global phenomenon. Lisa Marie Presley entered the story with a unique status. As Elvis Presley's only daughter, the heir to Graceland, and a colossal legacy, she grew up in the spotlight, but also under countless scrutinizing eyes. She constantly wrestled with the question, was she loved for who she was, or just for the shadow of the Presley name? Michael and Lisa first met in the late 1970s. By the early 1990s, both shared a profound sense of isolation under the pressure of fame. In their meetings, Lisa realized Michael was far removed from his powerful stage image. Quiet, soft-spoken, but sensitive and attentive. Michael was drawn to Lisa not only as a legend's daughter, but for her direct, intelligent, and occasionally rebellious demeanor, a contrast to the aloof, Graceland princess persona. They found synchronicity in loneliness. Lisa listened to Michael about his legal and media pressures. Michael made Lisa feel acknowledged as an independent person. The couple announced their relationship and married in 1994, perceived by the public as a showbiz fairy tale, the king of pop and the daughter of the king of rock and roll. However, cracks began to appear in 1995. The more famous Michael became, the heavier the pressure. His physical and mental health showed signs of instability, with rumors of reliance on medication. Coupled with this were loud lawsuits and whispers about his private life. Lisa once shared that she felt lonely and helpless, having to rely on tranquilizers to sleep, painfully watching her husband deteriorate. From this void, other stories began to be whispered. A few years after the divorce, an anonymous account claiming to be Lisa Marie Presley's former assistant appeared on a blog dedicated to music industry gossip. The source claimed that during a period when Lisa was working on a solo music project, she frequently collaborated with Eric Ivan Rosse, a musician and producer described as calm, deeply emotional, and a great listener. For a woman in a fractured marriage, those hours of sharing and being listened to took on a different meaning. The account claimed that conversations between Lisa and Eric often went beyond production, touching upon her deep-seated loneliness and fatigue in her marriage to Michael. The source also mentioned seeing Lisa keep a locked drawer containing a hidden photo of herself and Eric, looking happy and sharing affectionate glances. What made the story even more mysterious was that the anonymous account and the post vanished overnight. There was no direct response from those involved, and Michael Jackson never publicly addressed the story. As predicted, the couple announced the end of their marriage in 1996 after only about 20 months. The suspicion of betrayal was like a hairline crack on the perfectly painted glass of the marriage, present enough to cause concern, but never reaching the ultimate truth. In retrospect, the most unforgettable part is not the question of betrayal, but the tragedy of two individuals squeezed between fame, expectations, and their own traumas. Michael continued to fully embrace his music, and Lisa continued to seek her own voice in her singing career. 5. Al Green, the secret behind the handed-off notes. Al Green, the soul music icon of the 70s, whose name is synonymous with the intersection of music, faith, and salvation. The important woman by his side during this period was Shirley Kiles, a backing vocalist who later became his first wife. They married in 1977 and had 3 daughters, Alva, Ruby, and Cora. The image of the famous singer-pastor and the wife behind the choir building a home together was once a beautiful picture in the public eye. Yet just 1 year later, 1978, Shirley filed for divorce, citing spousal abuse and irreconcilable differences. Many years later, when asked about the past marriage, Al Green spoke slowly. "I wasn't a perfect husband. I hurt her, but I wasn't the only one who caused this marriage to break up." That statement raised the question, was Al the only one causing the hurt, or were there much more complicated and unspeakable stories behind the scenes? Against the backdrop of domestic conflict and abuse slowly being exposed, accounts from people who served in the same church began to emerge. They mentioned a name not found in the newspapers, Elijah, the drummer in the church band, who often stayed late backstage with Shirley after every service and choir practice. Elijah usually played the drums in the area near the wings. After every rehearsal, he was often seen slowing down as he passed the backing vocal section, where Shirley frequently sat alone, her eyes still red from previous arguments at home. A friend in the church choir later recounted seeing small gifts appearing in Shirley's backstage dressing table drawer. Sometimes it was a new hair clip, a neatly folded handkerchief, or just a chocolate bar, and a small note with tender, caring words, signed with a single initial, E. The increasing frequency of these messages caught the attention of those in the band. For a man like Al, who carried deep personal scars, a volatile temper, and a vulnerable ego, hearing about notes signed E, prolonged conversations after practice, and whispers of intimacy between his wife and the band's drummer. All these factors could very well have become the fuse that intensified his bursts of anger and hurtful behavior toward Shirley. From that perspective, no one denies the pain Shirley endured. But it is also difficult to say she stood completely outside the fracture. Al carried instability from deep personal wounds and uncontrolled anger. Shirley dealt with her loneliness and inner straying. Both were ordinary people, fragile and vulnerable, who simply desired love and understanding. The story of Al and Shirley offers us a gentle reminder. Sometimes the best thing we can do for the people who have been in our lives is to learn to forgive them and to forgive ourselves. For Sam Cooke, late-night calls that unveiled the secret. Sam Cooke, the original King of Soul, with a warm, romantic voice, an icon of love and black pride. Yet behind that sweet voice was a turbulent private life and a mysterious death in 1964 that remains controversial. Tied to him since their teenage years was Barbara Campbell, his official wife and the mother of his daughter. The public viewed Barbara as the epitome of the loyal wife standing behind the soul legend. Conversely, in private notes believed to be Sam's unfinished memoir, he wrote about feelings of loneliness and neglect within his own home. After Sam's death, Barbara surprisingly married Bobby Womack, a younger, close associate of Sam, who was considered his protege. This act made many fans and the Cooke family feel betrayed, raising the question, did things between Barbara and Bobby truly begin only after Sam's death, or did they start subtly while he was still alive? The suspicion deepened when an intermediary, believed to be a legal handler, accidentally discovered data regarding old phone calls and records. Within these files, a strange number appeared repeatedly in the months before Sam's death. When cross-referenced, the person was shocked to find that the owner of the number was none other than Bobby Womack. Another picture gradually emerged. The fixed-line phone at Barbara's home received and made calls to Bobby's number with a marked increase in frequency during that final period. Many calls took place very late, after 11 p.m., lasting for tens of minutes, or even over an hour, times that coincided with Sam being away on tour, performing far from home, or busy with late-night recording sessions. This chain of facts, although fragmented, was enough to lead to a hidden secret. Sam Cooke, who was rumored to have had a complicated love life, was suddenly re-evaluated by a segment of the audience as another victim of the fractures within his own home. They recalled the sad lines in his private notes where Sam spoke of feeling no longer listened to in my own house. Admittedly, all that was presented were fragmented pieces, a few lines from an unfinished memoir, anecdotal accounts of call history. There was no direct confession from Barbara or Bobby. But in the hearts of the fans, a quiet hypothesis formed. Perhaps in the final months of his life, Sam Cooke was not only facing career pressure, but also silently enduring a profound loneliness as his marriage descended into a dark tragedy. And the person behind these fractures was the very wife he deeply cherished. 3. Prince. When the backstage unveiled the hidden secret, with just a few opening notes of Purple Rain, one immediately knows it's Prince, a musical genius, an artist who dared to live, love, and be different. During those years, beside him was Manuela Testolini, the woman linked to charity projects and possessing a calm, refined image. To many fans, Manuela was a kind, gentle wife who always supported the singer from behind the scenes. It was precisely because of this serene picture that when the first whispers emerged from the tour backstage that the relationship between Manuela and a cinematographer on the crew seemed more intimate than necessary, the public couldn't help but feel uneasy. The suspicions began to surface from the tour's backstage, where Manuela, in her support role, often appeared alongside Alejandro, the cinematographer accompanying the tour. Some behind-the-scenes footage, recorded by someone on the production crew, showed affectionate glances, subtle, intimate gestures, and moments of hand-touching, details that easily led outsiders to draw conclusions. The climax of the story was not the discovery of clear evidence of infidelity, but the conflict between the flawless external image and the subtle, quiet fragments backstage. In the audience's eyes, Prince remained the unbeatable musical genius on stage, while Manuela quietly devoted herself to charity projects. Perhaps the most unforgettable part is not the suspicions or the fleeting glances, but the image of two individuals, each carrying their own separate worlds with their own choices, loneliness, and hidden aspects that the public could never fully perceive. 2. B.B. King, The Marital Void and the Tenderness. Found elsewhere. B.B. King, the King of the Blues, is a black music legend whose name is synonymous with his guitar, Lucille, bringing melodies that moved millions of hearts. On stage, he embodied pain and everyday love stories beautifully conveyed through music. Beside this legend was Martha Lee Denton, his quiet wife, a nurse at a small clinic, rarely appearing in public, always in the background, supporting B.B. King's daily life. In the public eye, she was the model of loyalty and simplicity. However, a few small signs began to surface like a lingering question. A secretly taken photo, hidden fragments of letters in a work journal, and sorrowful memoir entries kept private by him. Did Martha truly maintain her fidelity? The basis for suspicion came from minor yet significant observations made by Martha's colleagues, who had seen moments when Martha shared affectionate glances and intimate smiles with a merchant who often visited the clinic. The matter became more notable when B.B. King began recording his sorrow and silent disappointment in his memoir. He once wrote, "It's as if an unbridgeable distance has appeared between me and her. I wonder if I am still the only one she trusts and loves, or just a silent shadow beside her in this cold world." The secretly taken photo, the hidden letter fragments, and the deep sorrow recorded by B.B. King revealed a human's loneliness, helplessness, and moments of vulnerability, leading the public to ponder. Did Martha remain true to her vow to B.B. King, or were there moments when she gave her affection to another man, quietly behind her husband's back? Martha Lee Denton continued to live her private life quietly, away from the noise and scandals. Perhaps the most unforgettable thing is not the accusation of infidelity or betrayal, but the way B.B. King embraced it all in his heart. Silently, profoundly, just as he loved music, wholeheartedly. According to music critics' speculation, the singer's immortal love song, "The Thrill Is Gone," was inspired by the tumultuous marriage with his wife. 1. R. Kelly, the smile, the gaze, and the backstage suspicions of an illicit affair. R. Kelly, a name that went down in R&B history with soul-stirring songs, beloved globally. During the early career of the promising young singer Aaliyah, R. Kelly was not only her producer, but also her mentor, viewed by the public as an angelic couple. Until doubts began to surface one October afternoon in 1995 when paparazzi caught Aaliyah leaving the Regency Hotel, walking beside Jason, a young musician, a longtime companion in her production team, and a close friend. Photos captured the two stepping out of an elevator, exchanging intimate glances and smiles, dressed in coordinated outfits like a couple, quickly circulating. Though there were no clear physical intimate gestures, the eye contact and comfort between the two opposite-sex colleagues led the public to raise hushed questions. Members of the production team also recounted that Aaliyah and Jason often had private conversations that extended after work, sometimes staying in the studio later than other colleagues. Despite the public suspicions, R. Kelly chose to remain silent, refusing to let his private life overshadow his music career. Music became the vessel for all his emotions: joy, sorrow, love, and private disappointments. Ultimately, what left a deep impression was not the question of loyalty, but the way two talented individuals navigated personal storms while still maintaining respect for each other. As R. Kelly once confessed, "Even if things fell apart, the love I had for her was real. I'll always respect and cherish her no matter what happened." And it was the music itself, the immortal love songs and profound melodies, that served as proof of that love, creating a story that was both beautiful and deeply poignant. You see, the private lives of these R&B legends sometimes resemble ballads full of ups and downs, beautiful yet deeply painful. Every marriage story, every suspicion of betrayal, reveals a hidden side that the public rarely witnesses. The women in their lives, though controversial, are also figures who help shape the artists' journeys, leaving indelible marks on the music and in the hearts of their fans. If this story resonated with you, please leave a comment sharing your thoughts below. Don't forget, to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications to join us in exploring the mysteries, the hidden corners, and the untold stories of the lives of Black R&B stars, where music and private life intertwine, creating tragedies that are both beautiful and deeply poignant.